So talk us through some of the challenges in those first 12 months, because I know and Dan and I relate to someone that's we're early in the journey. We're in our first year. But talk us just through, for people who are maybe thinking about starting their own businesses, what those particular kind of challenges are. I just pick up something you said there. Network came in quite quickly, that you talked around you and Rob as partners. The kind of tapping into your network because you knew a lot of people. How important was that, for instance, in those first 12 months? And just a couple of other things that you experienced.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely vital that you leverage all the contacts you've made over the years. It's always amazing quite how many people you know. But for us, we always taught that new business is the lifeblood of any consultancy, agency, publisher. If you're not doing new business, you're probably going to struggle as a business. So that was always a focus for us and something that we had to do. Fortunately, we came from a background of my sort of more ad tech media side, a lot of new business, but Rob had been doing new business in big agencies like MediaCom for many years. So, that was very much part of what we did. But I think the biggest challenge of any new organization is the fact that you're doing everything. So one minute you're trying to do your new business, but when that's your sole job, you rock up, you get on with it, you check your pipeline. We were having to deliver work, we were having to do accountancy, we're having to think about, what does our logo look like? You're doing so many things. Some of them are great fun, some of them are way out of your skill set, and quite frankly not really what you got into the business for, like tax. And I think that is the challenge of, where do you put your time in any one day? It's brilliant that you own your own business, but actually you're torn, and so many things are important. If you don't pay your tax, then there are serious problems. So you can't put it completely to the bottom, but at the end of the day, as I touched on, we always had the mantra that new business was what we should be focused on, and spending a lot of time talking about it and doing it and working with clients. I think that's probably our first bit. The second bit that I wouldn't say it was a massive challenge in terms of the output, but attracting talent was like something that we really wanted to focus on. And being a new startup, particularly at that sort of time, the industry was in a very buoyant position. Attracting talent was really, really hard. We've been very lucky to employ some really great people. We're very proud of our employees and the talent that they have. But you've got to constantly be, talked about new business for talking to clients, but actually selling your story, what we were doing, selling the clients that you're working with, and persuading people to leave a big agency group or a big consultancy. That two of the guys that worked with us, Joss, who runs technical consulting, he came out of Omnicom. Ross Heron, who runs our media engineering division, he was at PwC, and Jordan was at Crimtan, running a lot of big accounts like Camelot. So persuading those guys who had very steady jobs, great clients, a huge roster to work with, massive back office, to suddenly come and work with us. We were working from home before COVID. Persuading people to do that was a big leap. Yeah. So that was definitely a big part for us. And I think the final bit that I always say, and it's often said on podcasts and podcasts like this, cash flow is one of the hardest things. And I think it's the one thing that still keeps you up sometimes, is just knowing that if we were having a bad run and clients hadn't paid us, was that Rob and I wouldn't be able to pay ourselves, because the priority was that we had to pay the team. And that kind of puts a very different perspective compared to, I've been a salaried employee for the whole of my career. Ultimately, I never had to worry, would you get paid on the 28th or 30th of the month? Suddenly being in that position where you're going, if that client doesn't pay us, we're in a bit of trouble, was such a mindset shift. And a couple of sleepless nights over the years. But
yeah. Well, so in terms of headcount, I think we talked about it before, but you grew the team once you kind of got some momentum. What was the size of the team, I guess?
Yeah, so we started with just the two of us, and we grew to just under 20 people. We had working combination of fully salaried and a few contractors as well. But yeah, we had a team of nearly 20 and you know, very similar size to CVE actually. So we doubled to nearly 40 when we got acquired. But yeah, that was a big group of people. We had a lot of clients to service, so it was
yeah, no, that's amazing.